how's everyone's health, especially, I guess Avery is the guy who maybe is in question right now?
Yeah, still day to day. I don't think a decision's been made about tomorrow yet.
Looked like Russ and LeBron were in street clothes. Were they just kind of like duty?
Everybody was. We were, our plan today was to have, just filming free throws. And, the Globetrotters play tomorrow. So we were going to have just a morning meeting, not a full shoot around. And they asked if we could just cover the Pelicans today. That's why I kicked you all out of practice, so we could get that part of our work done. But, we weren't going to do anything on the floor today except free throws.
Frank, as you guys kind of move through this next month and a half, does your strategy in regards to practice time change, kind of based on sort of the needs of this team? Like where? No,
we haven't been able to practice all year. I mean, the mindset with a team of this nature, with as many veteran guys as we have, is to improve mentally in the film room and with walkthroughs, and not overdo practice. So, with a lot of teams, you peel back, but there's, we already, weren't practicing. Yeah, we already weren't practicing a whole lot. So, mindset will be similar.
So there's was there ever a thought that it's like, I know we put health first, we want to put health first all season, but like, as you just point out, we really have to put our foot on the gas a little bit to try to get on the court more? Does that have that thought? Well,
anytime we can touch the court to get better, we are going to take advantage of that, but we're not going to do it at the expense of, taking their legs. That's more important.
Frank, the last 2-minute report from last night came out, and there were a couple things both ways.
I haven't seen it.
Okay. There was a foul on LeBron with like a minute and a half left, and then there was
foul against LeBron.
Yeah, a foul against LeBron, and then shooting with like a minute and a half left, and then there was a foul that was not called on Marcus Morris's go-ahead shot, but then the 2 reviews were also confirmed by the last 2 minutes. What I'm wondering is if, like, since last night, if you've gotten any more clarity or come to terms with kind of the way that played out.
Yeah, I still don't like the way the out-of-bounds play was called. I don't care how many times they can say it was the right call. I don't agree with that being, the way replay should work. If a play happens that is not called on the floor, okay, and then another occurrence happens, you should not go back and review or overturn a play that was not called on the floor. I mean, that's how I feel about replay. So it doesn't really matter. We lost the game. I'll maintain that stance when we have head coaches meetings and discuss these things in the summer. I'm sure they had meetings about it as well. These things come up. Replay is still very new, to our game. So, these types of things come up, and league does a good job of trying to get it right.
I have a technical question that might be better offline, but when you challenge a play, is it understood you're just challenging the recent, or do you have to specifically say, I am challenging this, and can the verbiage of how you challenge affect how it is adjudicated?
Well, I always try to communicate exactly what I'm looking for. For instance, there's a lot of situations where I'll know it was a foul, but I know it was pre-gather and it should be taken out on the side instead of free throws. So I'll communicate that I want to look for that, and sometimes the refs will ask, like, are you challenging the foul on the play? And most times it's pretty obvious that's what I'm challenging. So we just try to have that communication, throughout both ways, officials and for me.
I just wonder if, like, Ty had said, I'm challenging when the ball went out of bounds or something like that, if that could change. But I just don't know the answer. You may not know.
Yeah, well, out of bounds. I mean, it's to me, it's clear. Like, the whistle did not blow until Covington touched the ball and the ball touched the baseline. Like, that's when the whistle blew. Like, you can't go back forward. There was a play earlier in the year where Giannis Antetokounmpo, goes in and clears out Anthony Davis, and that's an offensive foul, okay? But the clear out causes Anthony to come down on Giannis's arm, okay? And they tell me that the clear out can't be something that's part of the review. Just whether Anthony fouled him or not is part of the review, okay? So, I don't know, a little bit of inconsistency there. Frustrated by it, but, I'm moving on and focused on the Pelicans.
Thanks for indulging on that.
Can I keep you from moving on for 1 second?
Sure.
Do you like replay?
Sure.
Just as like a concept?
Yeah, I think it's good for the game, I think, yeah.
What'd you think of Austin's first career start?
Played really well. Not perfect, but he continues to prove himself to me and to our coaching staff on the defensive side of the ball in particular. The block he had on Reggie Jackson was super impressive, and he does a good job moving his feet, keeping his body in front of the ball, and he's really long, as a defensive guard. So he continues to earn minutes with his defensive play, and obviously offensively he's got the complete skill set, to play with the ball or without the basketball. So I thought he played pretty well for his first start. Yeah.
Obviously,
But he's
Dwight-
0-1. I let him know that today as a starter.
Obviously, Dwight made an impact and has season high in rebounds, I believe. That look with Dwight, Trevor, Austin, is that one that you think you'll go back to? Are you still playing matchups with lineups at this point?
Yeah, nothing's locked in, and we'll see game to game. Hopefully we'll be able to lock into something. But we got to win some games in order for me to feel comfortable with that.
You mentioned trying to find that balance of going big versus small with AD out. How'd you find that balance last night? And I mean, again, Dwight played really well, but.
Well, I thought our small lineup had too many breakdowns defensively. Like, we can survive and perform well enough to win games on the defensive side of the ball if we execute what we're supposed to do, and we did not execute when we were small. So I still believe in playing that in doses, potentially finishing that way based on the game. But I was happy with how we played as a bigger lineup. I thought it served the purpose in my mind defensively of having positional size with Trevor and Dwight out there. Our defensive rating was really good. Our offensive rating was not, which has been part of the give and take of this season. But I do think that we had plenty of wide open looks with those big lineups that could have changed our results offensively.
Like, how much do you pay attention to the teams behind you at 10, 11?
Not until this morning when I looked at the Pelicans. Honestly, yeah. Yeah.
Because of the way they're playing and that when they made the trade, obviously.
Well, they got 3 horses and good depth, and they got a great young coach in Willie Green. So, they're right behind us. I know the Spurs are there, and Portland is there as well. But with the trades that Portland just made, I could see the Pelicans being one of the teams that move into the top 10. Like I said, they got 3 horses. McCollum and Ingram and Valanciunas are beasts at their position. So, it's going to be a tough game for us.
Any other questions before we go to Zoom? Good. All right. Alan, go ahead from Zoom.
Hey, Coach. Just curious, the last few games you guys have came back from double-digit deficits. Obviously lost a game to the Warriors, beat the Jazz, and then lost yesterday to the Clippers. I'm just curious how much of a challenge that is. It's obviously great that you guys can come back from deficits, but what do you think has been the foundation of what makes it, I guess, what creates that deficit? Do you see some similarities, or has each game been different?
I think each game is different, is always the answer with something like that. But I do think that our guys obviously play with more urgency when they're down double digits. Like, I think you could say that about every team in the league. So a lot of teams in the league fold or don't make runs. The perseverance is something I choose to highlight as a positive, and we'll continue to coach our guys on stronger starts.